Rand Paul hasn't been much in the news lately, but it seems like some of the what do you call it? The you said concerns that Trump was bringing up last night actually came from one of Rand Paul's Festivus reviews of the budget, where they go over these. He goes over these ridiculous spending measures that Congress is actually paying for in the budget before they pass it. The omnibus every single freaking year, right around Christmas time. And he said it time and time again. Every time he brings Festivus up, Rand Paul explains this, is that they stack it up in this 20,000 page bill and they give it to you 2 hours before you're supposed to vote on it. And it's the week before Christmas, so nobody wants to not actually pass it or not come to a resolution on it. So they're trying to strong arm you into essentially passing these ridiculous funding programs that don't make any sense. Like paying for, transgender animal research in fucking foreign countries and shit. Absolute retardedness. But that's how it goes every year with every congressional budget. Every single time. We had this from Nancy Mace. So one of the things that's been trending on Twitter lately is this idea that there's no transgender animal research. What is Trump talking about? He meant the transgenic mice, as if that's better. Because what transgenic mice means is that mice are being genetically experimented on, that their genetics are being altered to better represent humans rather than experimenting on some animal or some human, some animal that's closer to human DNA or human themselves. That's not actually what Trump was talking about at all. I think he was talking about this because Nancy Mace just brought it up at a committee hearing. Nancy Mace revealed that over $10 million in $10 million in taxpayer dollars were used for creating transgender mice, rats, and monkeys, as exposed of the White Coat Waste Project. Mace criticized the Biden-Harris administration for spending $2.5 million on a study about the fertility of transgender mice during a congressional hearing. The hearing addressed the misuse of taxpayer funds for what Mace called painful and deadly transgender experiments on lab animals. Mace stated that the United States government spends over $20 billion annually on animal experiments, highlighting the need for oversight. Absolutely. That's what Trump was talking about. Literally funding transgender mice. Sex changes on mice. We have done that. That is a thing that the American people have paid for. This is from the Washington Examiner. Biden administration spent millions creating transgender animals to experiment on. The National Institute of Health under President Joe Biden has spent millions of dollars funding experiments where animals are given sex change procedures and studied for the benefit of the transgender community. Taxpayers have footed the bill for roughly $10 million in transgender animal experiments in recent years, according to a selection of grants compiled by the White Coat Waste Project and obtained exclusively by Washington Examiner. The federal spending supported research ranging from the study of cardiovascular effects, giving feminizing hormone therapy to male rats, to providing animals injected with sex hormones. A popular drug of abuse utilized at raves. Oh yeah, ecstasy, do you think? To investigate overdose in vulnerable female and transgender populations. Again, if you can pull enough heartstrings, you can justify anything. I swear, it sounds like something out of a fucking Bill and Ted movie, you know? Or what was that movie where they made a hot naked woman real with computers back in the 80s? They're sitting around like, hey man, I know exactly what we should do, okay? We should take the mice and first we're going to make them trans. And then we're going to give them enough ecstasy to overdose. And you know what the best part is? The fucking government's going to pay for it. Yeah, Weird Science. That was the one. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. It's really what it sounds like, doesn't it? It's like out of a comic book. It's ridiculous. And yet somehow you're a racist bigot if you bring attention to this and how cockamamie it seems. Or the fact that we shouldn't be wasting tax dollars on it, especially when the United States has operated in a deficit for a long fucking time, and our debt continues to rise and rise and rise and rise and rise. We wonder why. We wonder where it's all going. Well, Now you know. It's headed straight to the Transgender Mice Fund so that they can give them ecstasy to see what happens in an overdose. That's literally what they're doing with your tax dollars. It's disgusting.